Amriteshwari Namah. Om Sahna Bhavatu Sahnau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om. My dear brothers and sisters, as one of the national coordinators of Ayudh India, it is a matter of great delight for me to share a very, very important news with all of you, especially the student community of India, and even more specifically, the dear students of Amrita institutions, including Amrita University and Amrita Vidyalayams, all across India. Dear brothers and sisters, as many of you may know, our country, Bharat or India, has assumed the presidency of G20 last year from December 2022 till this year, November 2023. And not just that, for the first time, someone of the caliber of Amma, our own Amma, Sri Mata Amritanandamayi Devi, she has been appointed as chair of Civil 20, C20. This is something phenomenal. It is a matter of great honor, as well as, of course, great responsibility also for both India as well as Amma's organization. Let me briefly try to explain what G20 and C20 is and how they fit into the whole ecosystem, just so that it's clear for all of you. Dear friends, the G20 basically is a group of 20 nations which have come together as a premier forum to bring together world's major advanced and emerging economies in order to address some of the major issues that we as humanity are facing today, be it global economy, be it international financial stability, be it climate change mitigation, or be it sustainable development. So these G20 members, which consist of 19 countries plus the European Union, and of course, India is also a part of it, all these G20 countries, they all represent around 90% of global GDP. And not just that, they also represent 80% of the global trade, 2/3 of the world's population, and roughly about half of the land area of the entire earth. And that's huge. Other countries such as USA, Canada, France, Germany, UK, Russia, China, and so on. So this is a huge forum. And this year, world is looking up to India for its G20 leadership. Now, under G20, there are multiple engagement groups. And one of the engagement group is called C20 or Civil 20. And Amma is the chair for C20. Now, what is an engagement group? Let me briefly try to tell you. Engagement groups are basically independent bodies, independent from the government, I mean. Now, every engagement group comprises of various stakeholders from the community. Some of the engagement groups, to name them, are, of course, Civil 20 itself. The C20 itself is one. And then we have Women 20, W20. We have Youth, Y20. We have Business, B20, Labor, L20, Think Tanks, T20, and so on. All these engagement groups, they work with other organizations from G20 countries to develop policy recommendations, basically. And these policy recommendations are then formally submitted to the G20 leaders for consideration. So coming to C20, as I said, Civil 20 or C20 is an engagement group under G20. Now, C20 as a platform is one of the most powerful platforms to make an impact, to make a positive change in the society. It is a platform to bring forth a non-government and non-business voice. What I mean by that is, it basically is the voice of the common man. It basically is the voice of a common man. And ultimately, C20 aims to bring a perspective from the CSOs, the civil society organizations from all around the world, and take this perspective to the heads of various G20 members. Now, of course, Amma's organization is also a CSO, a civil society organization. And one of the key functions of a CSO under C20 is to help in striking a balance between the economic interests of the country and the interests of the citizens or the common man. Because what may be of a great value, let us say, from the economic standpoint, may not be of value from the standpoint of a common man, may not be that much valuable. And that is where the CSOs play a vital role, to bridge that gap, to bring that balance by bridging that gap between the two. So now, no wonder, as I said earlier, civil society organizations are one of the most effective tools in current times to implement a social change in the world. And now, with India being the president of G20 and Amma being the chair of the C20 engagement group, I think it's a perfect combination of modern India, future India, and the ancient Indian values. And here is India's golden chance to make a positive impact in the world at the grassroots level. My dear friends, the world has a lot of expectation from what we as a nation are going to produce as an outcome of this effort. Particularly because the culture of Bharat is rooted in the welfare of the entire mankind, not just one single nation, but entire mankind. Ours is a culture that is built on the pillars of Sanatana Dharma, the principles of Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu, the principles of Sarve Bhavantu Sukhino, Sarve Santu Niramaya, the principles of Satyameva Jayate, the principle of Vasudeva Kutumbakam. These are the principles of our culture, the pillars of our culture. In fact, this year's theme of G20 is also Vasudeva Kutumbakam, which is a Sanskrit phrase, as all of you know, meaning that this whole world is one family. So what I'm trying to tell you is that world has a lot of hope from Bharat this year, that we as a nation will be instrumental in bringing a holistic transformation in the society. And of course, as part of this G20 effort, C20 plays a vital role. And you, my dear friends, my dear brothers and sisters, are going to be a part of this whole effort. This is a unique opportunity. When Amma was appointed as the chair of C20 last year, in her message, Amma said something very, very deep and wonderful. Amma said that Amma prays that this venture will provide a transformation in human minds. I repeat, Amma prays that this venture will provide a transformation in human minds. I think that is going to be the key factor in shaping the outcome of this year's C20, because all good in this world and all the bad in this world, they're ultimately the outcome of the human mind. And once the transformation happens at the root level, which means at the level of the human mind, its effects will automatically be seen at all other levels, in the society, in the nation, and in the whole world. But if the transformation is not happening at the root level, at the level of the human mind, then any transformation will be shallow, of course, and not even sustainable, I would say. So this is a wonderful opportunity for all of us. Let me briefly recap this whole structure of G20. As I said earlier, G20 is at the top level, and under that, we have multiple engagement groups. So G20 comprises of 20 members, which are 19 countries and the European Union. And under that, we have multiple engagement groups. And one of the engagement group is C20. Now, under C20 engagement group, Amrita, as an organization, has taken lead role in 5 very, very important working groups. What are these working groups? Very quickly, one is integrated holistic health. Second one is sustainable and resilient communities. Third one is education and digital transformation. Fourth one is gender equality and disability. And fifth one is technology, security, and transparency. These are the 5 working groups where Amrita as an organization is going to take a lead role. There are other working groups also. Now, coming to the most important part, what does it mean for youth of India? What does it mean for all of you who are listening to this message? My dear friends, it means a lot. It means a lot for all of you, the students of Amrita University and the students of Amrita Vidyalayams, and in general, the whole youth community of India. Here is your golden chance to make a direct impact on the world. Whatever you say or do now can potentially impact the policies that will be part of the C20 outcome. That's huge. And these policies can potentially change the world. So as a young person, this is your wonderful chance to make a contribution towards this noble cause. Because these policies can affect at a very, very high level. For the first time, you have this opportunity to influence the way the other youth and the student communities across the world are going to act in future. Your udharans or your examples towards, let us say, integrated holistic health, which is one of the working groups which I mentioned, we are taking a lead role in. One of your examples in how physical health or mental well-being can be approached, or your examples towards building sustainable and resilient communities by addressing challenges, let us say, challenges like climate change, or your examples towards improving education and digital transformation in India. Or it could even be your examples towards addressing gender inequality and disability, or your examples towards building use of technologies, enhance security, and maybe even improve transparency for advancing the societal well-being. So all these examples from you can potentially be the model framework for the youth in other countries to follow. Your ideas, your suggestions, they can literally propagate through this C20 process and find their way into the G20 summit. And finally, maybe even into the policy track of the G20 member nations. That is huge. I think it is a wonderful opportunity for all of you, for all of us in the Amrita family. And we are very lucky because Amma's institutions are already in one way geared towards affecting this kind of a positive change. Because our role model is none other than Amma, who has been appointed as the chair of C20. Not just the Indian government, but the governments all across, governments of all other countries, as well as the United Nations. They are very well aware of the social work that Amma is doing and has done in the past. Amma's organizations have set a great example in many diverse areas. We all know of that. The immense work that Amma's organization has done in India, as well as across the world, it's an example in itself. A great one, wonderful example to follow. Be it in the field of, let us say, disaster relief, environmental protection, housing, education, healthcare, you name it, hunger, poverty, unemployment, science and technology for the masses, women empowerment, and so on. These are just the tip of the iceberg. Amma has made phenomenal contributions to world at large. And through multitude of these projects, Amma has already set a path for us. She is the shining beacon for this world, both as a spiritual master and also as a humanitarian leader. And I think as Amma's children, and as I would say, as Amma's darling children, it is our duty to make Bharat proud by making the best of this opportunity. Amrita institutions across India, I would say, are the sacred spaces where such ideas can be discussed, implemented, and demonstrated in a very, very tangible way. And then these can set the right examples for the C20 policies. So, my dear friends, I implore and request all of you to take lead towards this great, great cause, because this is going to have an enormous societal impact across the world. I think we all owe a lot to our motherland, to our ancient Sanatana Dharma of Bharat. So as our offering to this motherland, to the Sanatana Dharma, which is rooted in the principle of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, I think the youth of India must come forward and take this bold step to participate very, very actively in this C20 Yajna by offering your ideas, offering your suggestions, your working models, your udaharans, your examples. And this is also our opportunity to offer a humble offering to Amma, who represents the glorious Guru Parampara, the lineage of spiritual masters of India, who represents Mother India, Bharat Mata. Dear friends, I am reminded of an ancient Indian prayer, Asato ma sadgamaya, lead us from untruth to truth. Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, lead us from darkness to light. Mrityor ma amritam gamaya, lead us from death to immortality. And this year's tagline for C20 is also quite similar. The tagline says, you are the light. You are the light. I'm also reminded of a quote from our most beloved Amma. Amma says, children, don't be discouraged by your incapacity to dispel darkness from the world. Don't be discouraged. Just light your candle and step forward. As you move forward, your candle will shine its light at every step of your way. And in that process, not only you, but others will also benefit. I just love this quote. And I think this quote of Amma and this year's tagline of the C20, which is you are the light, they both resonate so well and so deeply with each other. I think Amma has already paved the way for us. All we need is to put our effort in the right direction. While world is looking up to Bharat, Amrita family also has high hopes on the youth of India, the energetic and the dynamic youth of Amrita institutions, Amrita University, Amrita Vidyalayams, all of you. In the coming days, I'm certain that more information will be shared with you by your college and the school authorities so that all of you can get more clarity on how to proceed further, so that you can start making contributions to this wonderful cause as early as possible. As I said earlier, it is indeed a very, very unique opportunity for every single one among you. So once again, on behalf of Ayudh India, on behalf of National Ayudh Coordination Committee, and also on behalf of the C20 working groups of Amrita family, I wish you all the very best, and I pray that may Amma give you the necessary strength to be the light, that can give hope to the world. May Amma's life, may Amma's teachings, and Amma's examples lead you on the right path, where all your thoughts, words, and actions become an offering of love for the greater good of the humanity. May we all be able to give our best as an offering to this C20 Yajna. Thanks to all of you. And once again, wishing you all the best. Om Amriteshwari Namah.